Hija, sí, hija.
From the moment they found out they were going to be parents,
We were over the moon. We really were. We were trying for 3 years.
overjoyed and ready for the road ahead.
When I heard he was a boy, I jumped up and down in the doctor's room, just so happy.
Despite a difficult pregnancy,
I had a pretty rough pregnancy.
Jimmy and Valerie Atencio welcomed Jimmy Ray IV on May 14th, 2017.
I went into labor pretty early, so he was premature by 9 weeks.
The first 2 years of his life he spent in and out of the hospital. Jimmy and Valerie say they knew something was wrong but couldn't figure out what.
I would see normal kids at the park or wherever else, and he just didn't seem like a normal child to me at all.
Finally, a clue loud enough to make some sense.
He woke up at about 2 in the morning, screaming, grabbing the left side of his head like this.
They scheduled an MRI.
Immediately after the MRI, a lot of doctors pulled us into a room and talked to us, and they told us that they had found a large brain tumor that looked like it was growing into the spine.
Devastating news they had to hear and process before a 9-hour surgery.
Nothing I have ever went through in my life compares to what he goes through on a daily basis.
Hello? Say hello.
They call him their fighter. And that fight goes both ways.
Especially this year has been one of the hardest years of my life.
Jimmy got hurt at work and is on workman's comp. But taking care of himself is taking a back seat to caring for his son. And that's caused more issues.
Put me kind of 2 months behind on rent, and if you're not too compliant with workman's comp and their orders, you know, they kind of just start cutting you off slowly. Good job, baby. Yeah.
Through all that stress, he remains focused on being a rock for the next stage in his son's recovery. 6 weeks of radiation.
Seems like every time we've been here, we've had to put him to sleep, and I think putting him to sleep is the hardest part, just filling him full of life and then kind of just starting to go to bed. It's really gut-wrenching.
The time spent in this room are difficult reminders of their greatest fear.
Losing him.
Losing him definitely hurts to know that it's a possibility.
But it's these moments spent watching him play and be as close to normal as possible that give Jimmy and Valerie the strength to carry on.
I love him so much. He's my world. He's my heart. Like I said, he's the heart of our family, not just with me. And the bond me and him have is unbreakable. Hi, my baby. Oh, man. Daddy loves you. Okay, buddy.
I just hope that he is cancer-free after this radiation and that we don't have to face this battle again in our lives and he could just live a normal life, be a normal kid for once.
With photojournalist Chris Blake, I'm Eddie Randall, 9 News.